Welcome again, everyone, to another edition of Chalk Talk with the head coach of the LaSalle College High School Explorers, Brett Gordon. Brett, congratulations on another win. You took down a then undefeated Bonner Prendergast team, and quite frankly, a Bonner Prendergast team that, after they handled a really good Wyomissing team, smoked a pretty darn good Haverford School team that you guys had beaten as well. And then I think the big one, when they beat Roman Catholic, the supposed kind of third leg of that three-team wheel in the Philadelphia Catholic League, and Roman's still unbelievable. But when Bonner Prendergast did that, I think they came to the forefront as a logistic and a realistic, if you will, challenge in the Red Division. You guys came out there, scored the first 35 points of the game, and really erased any doubt. Would love for you to take us through what the week was like coming into Friday and who you knew you had in the opponent.
Yeah, well, we knew coming in starting as early as last Monday that we were on a short week. Obviously, the weekend before we came off a very emotional, hard fought physical win over the prep on a Saturday night. So we felt that the week was very accelerated, if you will. So the challenge for us as a staff was really how do we allow the kids to enjoy the St. Joe's Prep victory, and then at the same time reel everybody back in, because we knew, to your earlier comments, we had coming up this past week in Monsignor Bonner had some really impressive wins. We're scoring a lot of points. Their defense was playing very well, and short week, early dismissal from school on a Friday, going out to the Upper Darby area at a 5 o'clock kickoff. A lot of, I'll just say, variables working against you as a coach, trying to keep your team focused and stay on that emotional high. That being said, and I'm starting to feel like a broken record coming on every week and talking about this, but the ability of our players to lock back in effective Monday afternoon, to really stay grounded and focused even after the type of win that we had, I think speaks volumes to the maturity of our football team. Our coaching staff did a great job getting everybody locked in and focused very quickly last Monday. We preached all week that it was going to be a very difficult contest against a very talented Bonner team who had some very impressive wins and was putting up some very impressive stats on both sides of the ball. I did not expect us. I expected us to play well. I expected the game to be closer than it was, certainly in the first half. But again, I think that's a testament to our players in all three phases. We blocked a punt early in the game, offensively capitalized on that score. Then our defense forced a turnover. And then I think once it got to 14-0, I think, Bonner was a little bit shell-shocked as to how quickly, we got two scores on the board. And then our kids just kept coming and they weren't able to recover. But was very proud of the outcome, was proud of the way our kids fought, and just went in very businesslike and just executed very well in all three phases.
I think anyone that's been watching, certainly in person or our telecasts of your team, even from the jump, even at Harrisburg, were impressed by what Josh Simmons has been able to do, certainly playing both sides of the ball, but his running back prowess and giving you that two-headed monster that you now see, Brett, at every level of football you really need to have at the running back position. But I think that jump cut where he took on a stud at St. Joe's Prep and Anthony Sacca and sideswiped him on his way into the end zone. And then his game against Monsignor Bonner, if they weren't paying attention the first 6 weeks, I think they have to now. What is Josh Simmons doing so well to help your team?
Yeah, Josh is just very versatile in a lot of ways. He's helping us on both sides of the ball. We're trying to make sure we're as balanced as we can on offense. We've put some new personnel packages in, which you've probably seen, where we have two tailbacks in the game at the same time, essentially him and Desmond Ortiz. And then we try to divvy it up as much as possible, really just to keep the defense on their heels as best as possible. So we got to be mindful that Josh is still a sophomore. We're very proud of the contributions he's made so far, really on both sides of the ball. He's had to take a bigger role on defense with the injury to Julian McFadden. And Josh just keeps getting better every single week. And he's somebody now that, has proven that he needs the ball in his hands on offense.
Let's talk about the offensive line. We've talked about it a few times here this season, Brett, but I bring it up because Bonner Prendergast is again another one of these teams that has super talented, super athletic, super high ceiling type edge rushers and defensive linemen. Curious as to what you thought or how you thought your offensive line did to protect Gavin in building up that lead.
Yeah, so the first thing we do every week as a staff, myself and Mark Schmidt, is we sit down and we go through all the fronts, the pressures, and then figure out what our protection plan is for the week. Some weeks it's more on the fronts and the amount of blitzes that we're expecting to see. Mark does a great job preparing the kids week to week. And yeah, Bonner had some very explosive players on the defensive line that had our attention. They were very complex in a number of pressures that they were going to bring. I thought Mark prepared not only the O-line, but certainly Gavin as far as exactly here's where they're coming from, how they're going to do it. And then we kind of locked in on a protection scheme early in the week that handled the majority of pressures. So I think the mental preparation piece was very important. But then ultimately the most important thing is how do the kids execute it when the live bullets are flying. So I thought they handled, for the most part, with the exception of 2 or 3 plays, which is going to happen in football in general, I thought they did a really good job sorting out a lot of the stunts, a lot of the pressures. Gavin did a great job seeing things, maneuvering the pocket when needed to. And then our guys in the secondary did a great job separating from a lot of man-to-man coverage, which we knew coming in. Bonner had a lot of good athletes, and they were going to challenge you. So overall, it starts first and foremost with those guys up front. I'm very proud of the way they're continuing to develop for a group of guys that had virtually no experience at that position, at those positions coming into the season. But we also know that to continue to win and play at a high level, we need that improvement to continue week to week.
You guys have been road warriors the whole season, seemingly. And so now you're going to finish up the regular season, Brett. It's hard to imagine that we're talking about ending the regular season at this point. But 2 home games to go. Father Judge this coming weekend. It's homecoming, and then Roman Catholic on the 26th. So a quick look ahead, if you would, to what the next 2 weeks look like. Certainly, I don't know that it changes anything for you guys, but what homecoming kind of means in terms of the football program and the school, and would love to hear your thoughts on those 2 things.
Yeah, I would say that as far as the week preparation goes leading into this week, nothing's going to change. We're going to continue to go about our business as we've had, and it's proven to be a successful formula throughout the duration of the year. I will say that I would expect there to be a little bit of a different flavor to homecoming this year. Just the outpouring of support that I know myself has received, the school has received from a lot of very energized alumni that have been following the program. There's a lot of pride, as you well know, within the LaSalle alumni base, and then specifically the LaSalle football alumni base. So to see the alumni re-energized, as a result of the way this 2024 team has performed is very exciting. We talk about it all the time with the players that this is bigger than just you. It's bigger than us, and it's bigger than just this team in 2024. There's thousands of alumni out there that pay a lot of attention and generate a lot of pride in the success that this team has had. And I think I'm expecting that to be on display Saturday with another great crowd, a great showing of support, and hopefully another good atmosphere for the players to get to play in front of.
Well, we'll look forward to that, and we'll call to any alumni that haven't been out to a football game yet this year. Come on out and support this team for all their efforts. It is homecoming weekend, so a lot of good things that come with that as well. Brad, I hope you have a great week of practice. Thanks for doing this, and we'll talk again next week.
Great. Thanks, Bob.